This video is for those of you that may be new to Counter-Strike Global Offensive or CS2 and struggle to understand how to hold off the CTs after you've planted the bomb on these maps. So one thing that new players don't really understand is the value of choosing where to plant the bomb. On every single map, guys, there's going to be a region where you can get this bomb down and plant it, and it is so important to make sure that you are planting in the correct spot depending on the situation, because it's always going to be changing, right? So one thing you guys have to understand is that on every map there's going to be a default plant spot. Now this default plant spot is where you should be planting, and if there's no changing circumstances for, you should plant here for like 80% of the rounds, I'd say, right? And so I'll give you two examples here on A site overpass and B site overpass. So on B site, the default plant spot is behind here, right? Why do we plant the bomb right here? One, because it provides us cover from heaven. They can try to spam you and try to kill you, but you're almost certainly, safe 99% of the time. And also from graffiti, they can't see you, right? If we're planting on these other side of the site, we're exposed to one angle or another, right? We're always exposed to something. Now, you're not always going to want to plant here, right? I'll quickly show you on A site as well, the default spot. So default spot here on A site is right here in front of dice, right here. Why? Because when you're scaling into site, it is so easy to plant here when the CTs are holding this cross. If you have a smoke here and you do your standard execute, right? And they have to really come all the way out here to try to kill you versus all these other places where they could try to frag you, right? So let me head back down to B site here. Now, I told you default plant spot, this is why it's the best. Why does it kind of suck though? Because if you plant a default spot here, you're only limiting yourself to kind of retaking the site, right? You're only limiting yourself to be able to position like down here in pit, barrels, monster, and short, right? Why is this? Because if the CTs defuse the bomb, you're going to run into the same problem as they did. If you push through here, you're not going to be able to kill them, right? So one thing that you guys need to understand is that, depending on the situation, it's going to be better to plant the bomb in different spots. Say it's a 2v2 situation and the CTs are running down through con, both of them, guys, like both con. Well, planting default is the worst thing you could do, right? Planting here is horrible because they're going to come up short and shoot you. So now, because of the situation and the circumstances, we're planning over here. We're planning on the other side of the pillar so that I can have it here and that we can maybe play for heaven, right? We can play up here and see the bomb. So I want you to understand this for every single map. There's going to be situations where, the default plant spot is not where you should be planting. Don't get your head stuck to, I have to plant here, I have to plant here. No, depending on the situation, it's going to be good or bad to plant there. If you have a guy that lurked through A site and is heaven and kills all the guys heaven, then planting right here is awesome. Like you get to see it from graffiti, you get to see it from heaven, and you get to do your thing, right? So let's head over to A site here. As I mentioned, like, 90% of the time you're going to plant default, right? But there's going to be situations where they're flanking behind you. If you plant default, you're dead. So, we need to plant safe, right? Planting safe means when you're planting the bomb, it's not an optimal position at all, right? If someone's like, plant safe, plant safe. This is a safe plant because it's behind this truck, but it gives us very limited opportunities to play the post plant effectively and really, prevent them from defusing the bomb, because they could just drop a smoke down here and it's so hard to see where they're defusing or they're behind cover. Right? So depending on where you're at in the round, where you're at, in the situation that you find yourself in, you need to understand when to plant default, when to plant safe, and when to plant for a forward position, right? Like on A site here, we're planning for a forward position by planting behind the dice, right? That's what we do if we know the CTs are flanking or they're long and we're not worried about anyone shooting us from here. Plant for bank, and now we have a post plant where we get to play here. We're watching them as they scale in, and now you're essentially the CT side trying to hold off the T side, even though we're still the T side. We're just flipping it around a bit because it's a retake. But it's just something that we need to understand if we want to get better at this game. And it's something that even in Counter-Strike 2 that you're going to have to understand and learn. So that's why I think it's so important to understand this concept before we switch over to the game. And it's going to be so important for those of you that are new and actually want to get better at this game. And guys, I'm quickly going to shout out my channel. If you want to get better and learn from this game, I have so many good guides on this channel that will teach you how to go from silver 1 to global elite if you want, from face at level 1 to face at level 10. So really check those out. I know I'm self-promoting, but it's truly worth it. And I wish that I had somebody that was providing those types of tips and tricks for me when I was a new player. I was trying to go through it by myself and I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, check those out. And I appreciate every single one of you for watching this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm here for you guys and I appreciate all of you. So have a great day. This is CoJoMo. I'm out of here.